Alright, what's up guys? This is NinjaDeathStrike here, along with some of my friends. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Hello, I'm Shark, the Nine Shark Man. Yeah.
Hello, this is Robotnik is Sexy.
And I am Foxfire.
And we may have a couple people joining us later, or maybe not. We'll see what happens. But for now, we're going to go with the four of us. And we're here to talk about Pokemon X and Y. I'm sure you guys have listened to about a bajillion of these over the last few days. But it's always fun to speculate. So we're going to do some speculation about what could be in store for Gen 6 and talk about what we've seen already, what we hope to see. And yeah. So let's get started. First question I have for you guys is, what do you think X and Y means? Why X and Y instead of colors or something else?
Well, I immediately think, like, as most people do, chromosomes, but I think that's not as interesting to talk about. I'm gonna say, or why not colors? I don't think Pokemon has ever really followed the color pattern that well. They just seem to have, and everybody kind of expects it. And I notice the Pokemon Company likes doing things that people don't expect. And I don't think they were too happy about everybody knowing about Heart Gold and Soul Silver at all. I think that really frustrated them, but they seem to try and throw a wrench at everybody every opportunity they can, while still not actually pissing anybody off. So I think that might be part of it.
Okay. Andy?
Okay. I was just gonna say chromosomes. That's all I can really think of. I guess they ran out of colors or minerals. I don't really know. I mean, obviously one is shaped like a giant Y, and while the other one isn't really shaped like an X. I mean, I guess if it like spreads its legs, it looks like an X or something. It has X's in its eyeballs.
Yeah.
You can see that in the trailer if you actually look. But yeah, I'm pretty much stumped, other than chromosomes.
Okay.
That's the obvious.
Yeah. And Fox?
I'm with Andy here. I think it's chromosomes as well, simply because this is the first thing that comes to mind about these. I guess they did run out of colors, or something. Ors. They usually follow a certain theme with each generation, and maybe it's genetics this time. They did go into gene splicing in Black 2 and White 2.
Uh-huh.
So, maybe.
Alright. I think chromosomes could be part of it. A lot of people had said that Xerneas's antlers kind of look like a chromosome, but I don't really see it. I think it's more likely that they have to do with dimensions, like on an axis. Since this is the first one in 3D, obviously, you know, Xerneas is X, Yveltal is Y, and then we will get a Z as the third legend to complete the trio, and then we'll have 3 dimensions. I don't think that rules out the chromosomes, but I think it's more based on dimensions than anything else.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
That
Could be
really
kinda
makes
weird.
sense when you look at Yveltal. Is that how
I think so, yeah, Yveltal.
Yeah, whatever the Y one is. It's a flying thing.
Yeah, right.
You know, think of the ground thing.
Yeah.
If you go with the
Yeah.
axes, that makes a lot of sense.
So, I've heard...
The Z thing might have some new mechanic with 3D, and that'd be pretty cool.
And I heard some speculation that perhaps the Z thing would be a ground type, since it, that's kind of depth, like it goes into the ground, which is interesting. I don't know if that quite. It's a little bit of a stretch, but it could be. So that's cool. Now, next up, what do you think of the designs of the Pokemon we've seen so far?
I actually really like them. I mean, I've heard a lot of criticism about they're really unoriginal. Like, the Chespin kind of looks like Oshawott, which I can kind of see, but at the same time, when you get a round head and a generic body, everything looks like Oshawott from there.
Yeah.
So if you use that as an example, like, there's nothing you can do to make that not look like Oshawott. So I
Yeah.
don't see that much of a connection. The face design is actually rather different. The headdress is completely different. It seems like its own thing, honestly.
Yeah.
Fennekin, it's another fox. It's cool. I like its design. It's different. It's like, it kind of reminds me of having like all of the different cat Pokemon, though. I'm not sure how I feel about it, like its design yet.
Yeah.
I want to see it evolve first.
Yeah.
And then there's Froakie, and I love the frog Pokemon, except we actually don't have any frog Pokemon. We only have toads. I'm really happy to see that.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
And the legends.
Right. Really interested in the X one a little bit more than the Y one. The Y one looks amazing, like its design. The X one, though, I feel like it has more of a story to it. I feel like Pokemon kind of has a little bit of a tendency to have the story lean towards one of the games.
Uh-huh.
I feel like it might be leaning towards X in this game rather than Y. I don't know.
What do you mean by that? Like, with Black and White, which one do you think it
I
leaned
feel
towards?
like in Black and White, it's sort of leaned a bit towards, if you're playing White version, a bit. Not a whole lot. Because, N has the self-righteous, so Reshiram looks a lot more righteous and, like, he is right, he is strong type of presence, whereas Zekrom looks a bit more evil-ish.
Which one was Reshiram? Truth or Ideals? I always forget.
Truth, I think.
I don't really remember.
Alright.
I think Reshiram was Truth. I'm not sure, but it seems pretty likely with the white color and everything.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So you like Xerneas then?
I like them both, actually. I'm not really sure which of the two I'm going to play through. I'm
Okay.
going to get them both, either way, and I won't probably decide until I have them both in my hands.
Yeah. Alright. Andy?
That's a big question. I like them a lot. I like the frog and the fox quite a bit, but for some reason I'm really into chest spin just because I can't tell what the hell it is.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Is it? Like I want to start with it just because I don't know what it is. Like it looks like a Breloom crossed with an Oshawott. Like it has Breloom's feet and tail, and it has the Oshawott snowman-shaped body.
And there's a little bit of Pachirisu thrown in there too, I think.
Yeah, it's
In the
got
face.
face.
Yeah.
It's just like a big grab bag of old Pokemon, and it's like a brown or red grass starter is just really weird.
Yeah.
So that has me interested. As much as I like Froakie, and everybody likes Fennekin, just everybody, which makes me want to not pick Fennekin, since everyone will pick Fennekin, and I'll be like the hipster guy who doesn't pick Fennekin.
Who gets beat by Fennekin.
Maybe, depending.
Yeah. Okay.
As for the Y-Bird and the X-Steer thing, I don't know, I like them both. I think I might like the Y-Bird better just because it looks really awesome. I think the X-Steer, Xerneas, I think his name is...
Yeah.
He just kind of reminds me of Arceus, and that's pretty much it. I mean, he's really colorful and cool looking, but I wonder what his thing is.
Yeah.
What his ability is, what type he is. Yeah, I'm hoping the Y-Bird is pure flying, because that would be nice, but maybe it isn't. I don't know.
I get a definite dark vibe from it. At least from the artwork that they released yesterday or whatever. It looks dark to me, but that's just speculation. It could very well not be.
There's speculation that there are new types, but I think that's Bubkiss.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, yeah. I could go into more speculation, but that might dip into a future question. So
Yeah,
I'll just-
I'm trying to avoid speculation as much as I can, just because that seems to be what everyone else is talking about. So we're going to talk about more stuff you'd like to see than what we think is going to happen, because I think it's way too early to start that stuff yet. So anyhow, you can if you want to go ahead, but
well, there was that rumor thing that I posted,
I remember.
and it before the announcement, it said that the game was going to be in full 3D, and I thought that was insane and unbelievable. And then the announcement was in full 3D, so maybe there is something to that rumor. And it also rumored a neutral type, which would blend with other types or something. I don't know. But again, that's it's I can't think of an expression, but yeah, I could go on about that, and it would waste a lot of time.
Okay. Fox?
Well, I like all three of the starters. I especially like Fennekin because, well, Fox. That kind of goes without saying. And I've always been a fan of fire types, so. I love the frog, though, because he looks like Benjamin Franklin.
He really does.
And the chipmunk Chespin, right?
Yeah.
He looks interesting. I'd like to see where they're going with him, but before I decide on a starter, I'll probably still go with the Fox, though, just because it's so befitting. And they've never had a Fox starter before, so I'm excited about it. As for the two legendaries, I love the deer, and I love the bird. I love them both. But there's certainly, I feel, a lot more, I don't know, lore around the deer than the bird. Because there's, I don't know, he reminds me of some magical fairy world. I don't know if that sounds super girly or not, but he does. I really like him. I think I'm definitely going to go with X as opposed to Y, but I'm getting them both, obviously.
Okay.
I always do.
Yeah, I like all of them. As far as the starters go, I really like all three. A lot of people complain about them. I think those people are just stupid, because they're really good designs, I think, all three. I can see the concerns. We do have a lot of kind of amphibious Pokemon already with Froakie, and Fennekin does have a striking resemblance to Vulpix, just in the cute fox department, and no one knows what the hell Chespin is. It looks like it came from another game. But I think all the designs are really good. I remember seeing the Gen 5 starters and just thinking, ugh, really? Snivy was cool, and then it was a pig and a clown.
Yeah.
And I was not that impressed.
Was somewhere crying.
Yeah. And then the final evolutions were super disappointing as well. I felt, anyhow. So I hope these guys are good. I think they look a lot better. It seems like they have a lot more potential than the Gen 5 ones. I really like Chespin too. Like Andy was saying, what the hell is it? I don't know, but I want to. It makes me want to pick it just to see what it is. What is it going to do? Yeah, and then I like Fennekin a lot too, just because it's a fox, and I like the Benjamin Franklin frog as well. So I really feel like you can't go wrong with the starters. As far as the legendaries go, yeah, I like both of them a lot too. I do lead towards Xerneas just because I think it's freaking cool looking. I agree, it looks kind of like Arceus, but the antlers really set it apart. And I don't know. I'm curious to see where they're getting their their base for these guys, because usually a lot of the legends are kind of based on mythical creatures or legendary creatures, like Groudon and Kyogre were Behemoth and Leviathan, and Ho-Oh is obviously a phoenix and that kind of stuff. So I'm really interested to see where they're drawing their inspiration from, because I think there's a lot of kind of forest gods that have the big antler thing going on, and that's why I really like Xerneas. So I haven't figured out what Yveltal is supposed to be or where he comes from yet, so I think that's why I like him a little bit less, but he still has a really cool design.
I think he might be like the Rock, if you've heard of that.
Maybe,
The Rock.
but he doesn't seem like he's lightning type.
Well, we'll see one way or another.
Oh, I forgot to answer part of the question.
Oh,
because
go
I
for
kinda
it.
Went on a tangent about speculation. But if I had to choose a version, I'm just going to choose based on what Pokemon are available in each version.
Yeah,
So I'm going to have to wait.
yeah,
That's always how I do it. If
Yeah,
there's
me too.
somebody who I think is cool, I'll just pick that one. But I'll probably pick the version that my friends don't pick, and just kind of go from there.
yeah. That actually wasn't part of the question, but
It
we
wasn't part of the question?
no. Everyone just kind of got onto it because we were talking about the title legends. But we can talk about that now. So why don't you? Well, you already answered the question, but why don't the rest of you answer that? Because it is a good question. Which version are you going to get?
I'm still not entirely sure.
Yeah.
I kind of mentioned that before.
Yeah.
I'm completely torn between the two, because there's the, I still can't pronounce it, the Y saying...
Yveltal.
Yveltal. Said it yourself. I have no idea where it comes from either.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of have a general idea where the X thing is coming from, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is a deer-shaped thing in the forest, and there's a lot of deer gods, and I'm thinking it's one of the ones from Japanese mythology.
Mm-hmm.
Not really sure though, but there's a lot of places that it can come from, and I feel like I kind of know it already. So I think I want to see where it goes, but at the same time, I want to know more about what I don't know about.
Yeah. It's
So
the
completely boring.
the chessman dilemma.
Yes. I don't know what starter I'm gonna choose yet
Yeah.
either. Like, I was like immediately Fennekin, but the more I think about it, all of them look awesome.
Yeah, and Fox, you already said you're probably going to get both, right? And then play through X first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually I just use the second one as a fun run, or transfer starters or legendaries from that one over to my main one.
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, I need to see the version exclusives still. I'm leaning towards X just because I really like Xerneas, but it depends on the version exclusives, definitely, and how many ghosts one version has over the other, because I love ghosts. So, next question. What secondary types would you like to see for the starters? Not what do you think they're going to be. What would you like to have them become? And if you say firefighting, I will kick you out of the call.
Damn. And I was just about to say grass fighting, fire fighting, water fighting, and see what happened. Because everything's better with fighting type.
Yeah.
Right? That's obviously the trend, right? Okay. On a more serious note, what I'd like to see, I'd like to see Chespin. I'm completely certain this is not how it's gonna go, but I'd like to see it be grass fire type. I completely don't think that's gonna happen. And a more realistic one is grass ground, or actually even grass bug.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see it be grass fire, and just say screw everything. For Fennekin, obviously firefighting is by default a possibility. I don't want to see it, in
Yeah.
the slightest, but it's definitely a possibility. Embor kind of proved everybody wrong in, there's no way that could be firefighting.
Yeah.
It's dark, right? Yeah, no, screw everything, fighting type. So, I am completely expecting another firefighting anyway, even though it looks like it can't fight. But I'd like to see either Fire Psychic, Fire Electric, or Pure Fire. One of those three. And for Froakie, I'm kind of interested in seeing it become a Water Ghost.
That would be cool.
I feel like of all of the types, I think it might actually become a Water Ghost. I think that'd be really cool.
Okay. Andy?
I actually completely agree with Fox about the chestbin thing. I really want him to be Firegrass because it's a really good type that's only weak to poison, rock, and flying, which is cool. But it obviously won't happen because you can't cross the grass and the fire. It would have to be some other Pokemon, I think.
Yeah.
But realistically, I'm hoping for grass fighting or grass ground. It probably isn't a bug, but maybe it's a bug. I don't know. As for Froakie, I'm hoping it becomes water electric because it just has really neon-looking colors that just seem to suggest electricity, and it has a cloud on its back.
Yep.
There is no real evidence that it learns electric moves yet, but I just like to see that, and it looks like he's like glowing, so maybe that will happen. And as for Fennekin, I think in the trailer it uses a psychic attack. I think it uses
It looks like it, but a lot of things learn psychic attacks. So, I mean, Ninetales gets a bunch of them. It's pure
but
fire.
it looks exactly like the Pokemon Battle Revolution Psywave.
Yeah.
So, and then like Chespin he uses an attack that looks like Aerial Ace in Black and White too. But everything learns Aerial Ace, so
yeah.
It doesn't really mean anything. But I think he'll probably be a Fire Psychic. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm also hoping that there are going to be bipeds, just because I like them more. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Fox?
As for Chespin, for starters, I don't know what it is, so I guess I don't even know what to look for or hope for with Chespin because it's so bizarre. It could go so many different directions. I think you could see grass flying simply because there's been flying squirrels before. There's a Molga that did that, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that being a possibility. I'd like to see maybe grass fighting because we haven't had one of those before, I don't think.
Breloom.
Other than Breloom, but not as a starter. As for Froakie, I really like Andy's idea of a water electric type because it sounds so amazing. It sounds great. I don't really think that Froakie would be a water ghost simply because he doesn't look very spectral or ghosty at all. I could see him being another water ground, but we have enough of those.
Then he's just Seismitoad again, basically.
Yeah, basically. So I'd like to see water electric. And for Fennekin, since Ninetales, I do not want Fennekin to be another Ninetales. I'd like to see fire electric too, simply because just the coloration of it. I don't know where it's going to go. I haven't seen its evolved forms. No one has. But I'd like it to go in that direction, but I could see it being a fire psychic type as well, and I'd be okay with that. Just so long as it isn't too much like Ninetales.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree with Andy and Fox about Froakie. Should definitely be water electric. That'd just be really cool. Water electric is really solid typing. It would give him a shot at actually being good competitively, and it would just be really cool on top of that. like Thor crossed with a frog. Um, that sounds pretty cool. And he does have the kind of cloud thing going on and the cloud spectacles on his nose. Um, other than that, water fighting would be okay. We have a couple, I think, at least one with Polyrath, but having maybe a quicker version would be good. Chespin, I don't know. Seems maybe grass and ground. We did already have that with Torterra, but that doesn't mean they won't do it again, obviously. He's got a lot of brown, so it just makes me think ground. He could also just end up being pure grass, which would be okay. I definitely would like it better if they all get a secondary typing, though, just because it makes it more interesting. Grass flying would be really cool, too. It would be neat to have another starter who becomes a flying type. We haven't had that since Charizard, I think.
Yeah.
So that would be
Yeah,
neat.
you're right.
And then Fennekin, pretty much anything but firefighting. I don't really care. I do disagree with Andy on this one, though. I don't want him to become bipedal. I think it'd be better if he stays on all fours. I think Chespin and Froakie probably will be. So I don't think they need to make Fennekin bipedal. And that also drastically increases the chances of him becoming firefighting again. Because then he has two arms to do stuff with. So
That's a good point.
he can just stay on all fours. The Fire Psychic would definitely be cool. That seems to be the popular choice for everything. But if I had to pick something I'd like, it would be Fire Dark. Because that'd be neat. Houndoom is awesome. We need more Fire Dark. It's a good type combo. Alright, next. Which one Pokemon of the current Pokemon we have needs an evolution?
Too many of them.
You can only pick one.
No.
If
I already
anybody
know
can think
mine.
of something faster, go ahead.
Alright,
Sorry,
Andy, you
sorry,
have
it's too
yours.
many.
Go ahead.
I really want Spinda to turn into a hulking, muscular beast panda, because if it keeps its Dreamworld ability Contrary, with Contrary superpower and improved stats, it'll be like Tier 1 in like no time. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Alright.
But there are plenty more
Yeah.
that could use.
We'll just
Yeah,
pick your
boost.
top one for now, and then we'll talk about the others in a sec. Alright,
It'll
so
be Spinda.
Spinda, okay.
Okay, I think I'm not entirely certain, but I'm thinking if I had to choose one, it'd be Mawile. Because I love the Pokemon. It's just it sucks.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad.
What would it do? Like, what would it look like in your mind?
I honestly don't even care if it just gets like bigger or something. It's just such a sad Pokemon.
Yeah.
And it learns all of the good moves. Its abilities are good. Its defense are good. It just sucks anyway, and
Yeah.
it pisses me off. Like even its typing is good. Solid Steel is not a bad type. It's just for some reason just doesn't work.
Mawile is one of those Pokemon I regularly forget exist until I see it.
And that's just because it's terrible. But it learns like all these dark and fighting moves. It learns all of the punches. It learns Sucker Punch included in that,
Yeah.
which isn't normally a punch. It learns all of the beams. It has Sheer Force, Intimidate. It has all of these things,
Yeah.
but it can't work with any of them. It's sad. I want to see this thing at least be decent.
Okay.
So I would have to say Mawile.
Alright. Fox?
It's hard. I think Dunsparce, simply because we haven't seen anything hardly done with him in forever. He has a lot of good things about him, but he can't do a thing with any of them. He can roost, which is something, but he's just he's just one of those Pokemon you forget exist every once in a while, and I think that could be helped if he had an evolved form. I think he could be a good Pokemon if he could evolve, but he can't.
He has Serene Grace too, and a bunch of flinch moves.
Yeah, he has Paraflinch going for him like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he got Eviolite, he would be really good.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. My choice would be Lapras. I've wanted a Lapras evolution since Gen 2. I love Lapras. It's the Loch Ness Monster Pokemon. So I'd like to see it just become more of a plesiosaur. Like, make the neck longer, give it a tail, a long tail, and make the shell more intimidating. It probably still wouldn't be good because it's an ice type, and ice types get the shaft in competitive play, but I don't care because it would be awesome. So I would definitely pick Lapras.
I'm just trying to imagine Lapras with even with, doesn't matter how good the evolution is, just Lapras is a Violite.
Yeah.
Because it already is very tanky.
Yeah.
Because of its HP and defensive stats.
It would be
So
great.
that'd be interesting.
All right. Anything that didn't get mentioned that you want to mention real quick? I don't want to spend too long because we could talk about this all day, but if there's any...
Well, there's Zangoose and Seviper, but there's just so many Pokemon that
I don't feel like they need... Zangoose and Seviper I don't think need an evolution because they already, like, are a pair.
Well, if they both evolved, that could work.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I see what you're going.
Or they could have a pre-evolution.
Ugh, no babies.
Yeah,
No more babies.
That
I
doesn't
actually
do
really
anything
want
anywhere.
one baby, just one.
What's that?
Like a calf baby that turns into Miltank or Tauros.
That does make sense.
Yeah, that would be kind of
good. Torkoal, definitely on that list of things that
Maybe like
probably...
Torkoal.
Uh-huh.
He likes
Well, it has no
turtles.
special defense either way, but Torkoal would be nice, I think.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's alright, but he doesn't learn moves.
He's definitely unique.
Yeah. I really like Torkoal. He just isn't good enough, ever.
If he got Eviolite, he would instantly become good enough. I think.
Or if not, his evolution would be.
And of course, I mean, we have to mention Farfetch'd. Just mandatory.
Poor thing.
Flying fighting evolution needs to happen.
It does, really does.
I can just burn in hell. So
I don't think they will, though, because Farfetch'd is like a running joke. So they never will give him an evolution.
Farfetch'd and Dunsparce both, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, Farfetch'd was pretty much designed because they needed something to eat, so they eat roast Farfetch'd.
Yeah. He comes with his...
That was like the entirety
I mean,
of everything.
he comes with his own garnish.
Poor Farfetch'd.
I guess, if anything else, maybe Bouffalant? Maybe. I don't know if he really needs it, though. He's not bad.
It just evolves
he's
into Samuel
really good.
Jackson.
He's good enough by himself. I wish he was a bit faster.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah. I think that's everything off the top of my head.
Okay, that's fine. Next question. How about a new Pokemon? What types and what kind of animal would you like to see?
Whatever it is, it has to by default not be a water type, in my opinion. So, we have more than enough water types. Like, I don't even care if it's good anymore. Just because it's water, I don't want to see it. I think I would like to either see more fire types or not crappy psychic types.
You can mix. It doesn't have to be pure type
Yeah,
either.
I know.
You can mix.
I don't want a fire psychic that badly. Like, aside from the starter, I don't. It's not that good of a combination because both of them have a ton of weaknesses.
And what kind of animal or thing? Doesn't have to be an animal.
I would like to see a shark Pokemon that's a bit better than Sharpedo, but that would be getting into water, so I don't really want to.
You could you could change it though so that it didn't live in the ocean. Make like a flying shark or a tree shark.
Tree shark,
Yeah.
grass flying sharks.
There you go.
Okay, that's my decision.
All right. Andy?
All right. I really want a rooster Pokemon and a hen Pokemon, and I want there to be like a baby chick Pokemon that turns into either of them, but it could be like a flying fighting type, and like, I don't know, like the hen could have a bunch of HP and it could use roost and stuff, and it'd be cool. I don't know if I have to pick just one, but based on a picture I saw of a bug gym, it would be nice to see a more competitive spider Pokemon, because they seem to get the shaft.
I think they tried with Galvantula, and then it just didn't.
It just wasn't enough.
Work
it
out.
needed a little bit more speed or a little bit more special attack, but
Yeah.
it just fell short. So hopefully there's going to be a big hulking spider demon thing, which should be cool.
Maybe a grass dark. What type would it be?
Oh, I don't know.
Bug dark.
It has to be bug.
Yeah, bug.
Oh, maybe bug ground. Either bug ground or bug water. I want to see another one of those, because those typings do exist in the game, but only on like basic baby Pokemon,
Yeah.
like little bugs that nobody uses.
And
So-
Wormadam.
Start getting Ninkata. Am I missing anything?
Wormadam.
Wormadam. Well, Wormadam sucks.
Yeah.
So it's evolved and it sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, at least the other two, they have excuses with not having any of their evolution sucking too, but that's the point.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
One more before I'm done.
Okay.
I really want a fighting ice type, because they really complement each other, and it wouldn't be weak to Stealth Rock.
Yeah.
So then you could actually use it, and ice and fighting hits like everything for super effective, and that'd be cool.
Okay. What would be a good thing to be an ice and fighting type?
Oh, I have no idea.
The Abominable Snowman. We kind of yeah.
A new Obama Snow.
We kind of got that with Obama Snow, but
Or Obama.
a better version. It could be like a Sasquatch, maybe, or a Yeti.
I was thinking more like just like a monster.
Yeah.
It could just be like a fighting dude that's just like cold. He's just like a blanket.
It's
over his
yeah. It's just Hitmonlee with a blanket.
and earmuffs, just like fuzzy earmuffs on him.
It could be a fighting icicle. We've seen icicles before.
Yeah. Or like it could be like a mountain climber kind of guy, like a humanoid one. Looks kind of like a mountain climber. Okay, Fox.
Well, I think Pokemon World needs more Fire Dark types.
Okay.
I love the typing. I love everything about Fire Dark types. I also think I'd love to see some new Ghost typings, especially Ghost Steel or another Ghost Dark, simply because I love those typings as well. As for what kind of creature some of these would be, it's hard to say. Be nice to have a cat that was a ghost type of some sort, simply because cats are usually infused in every single mythology on the planet. They already have a mystical trait about them, so I'd like to see a ghost cat.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't think I have anything else.
All right. I really, really want a cheetah Pokemon. A cheetah is my favorite animal, and we don't have one yet. So I really want a cheetah Pokemon. Could be lightning. Seems like the most obvious type since it's already yellow. Could be like bright yellow, and super fast.
Sorry.
What?
there is Lipard, which has that kind of coloration on it.
Lipard is a leopard, though. Obviously. Leopards and cheetahs are not the same.
They're similar.
Rainforest versus Savannah? What?
Yeah.
They're big cats. Anyway, go on.
And yeah, more ghost types. I don't care what they are. I just love ghost type. It's my favorite type. So I want more ghosts with unique typings. Ghost psychic would be kind of cool. But yeah, I want a cheetah Pokemon and I want more ghosts. Those are my only two
Ghost
desires.
Ghost Psychic would be interesting. Quad weak to two things, though.
Yeah.
Ghost and Dark. But aside from that, that sounds amazing. As long as you don't get sucker punched.
Or pursued.
Maybe we could have an ability that absorbs one of the weaknesses.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Trying to think if there is one.
An ability
I don't
that
think there is.
absorb? No, there isn't.
No.
Yeah.
It would be cool to have like a new ability though, like Shadow Cloak.
Well, I'm sure we'll get new abilities. We'll have to.
Yeah.
All right. 2 more questions. What elements do you want? Like story kind of elements. What kind of story elements would you like to see?
What do you mean by that exactly?
Like something new as far as the story stereotypes go, or something with the evil team, or the setting. Just anything that kind of has to do with the story.
It's this one's a tough one for me because I'm like immediately going to speculation. Like I would like to see. I kind of expecting it to be something that we don't expect.
Mm-hmm.
Just something out of the blue, and I'm happy to think that because that really worked well for Black and White. It made the game significantly better than they were otherwise. So I don't really care if it's the same thing or something new, just as long as they do it well enough and it's interesting enough. I don't really mind either way.
Okay.
Let's see. As far as story, I don't know, maybe something more traditionally RPG, like something I would never expect, like, I don't know, they seem to, like, pair you up with people, but only for, like, a short time. Maybe if you actually got, like, paired up with someone for a long time, and it was, like, a team member or something, I don't know. I don't really know. Something more story-ish. Pokemon definitely has a reputation for not really having a super big story.
Yeah.
And you just kind of go around collecting badges and then beat the Elite Four, and then you're done. So, I don't know. Just, I really don't know. Because at the same time, I enjoy the game a lot the way it is with its very minimal story. But yeah, something more story-enriched would be surprising and good, but I don't really know what to suggest.
Okay.
I agree with Andy, but they've been doing a better job of implementing the storyline throughout the game as time went on. Like, for instance, there's a huge difference between the original Silver and Heart Gold Soul Silver. Just in terms of story and how it was taken out. Still minimal, but there was more of a story there than before. I'd really enjoy seeing you having a team of people and conquering whatever obstacles they decided to put in your way. I'd also like to see a shift away from the organized crime or organized group thing, simply because it's been done, but it is kind of what Pokemon does, so I wouldn't mind it staying either. I'd really like it if they did something that just completely blew me out of the water, like a surprise plot twist that I never saw coming. That would be great. That would do it for me though. If it just had that and nothing else.
It turns out you're working for the evil team the whole time and you didn't know it.
Yes, something like that.
Okay. As far as for me, I'm really hopeful that the setting is going to be Europe, based on some things we saw in the trailer. It looked like could be in Europe, and if it is, I think that'd be really cool. It'd give them, Europe is just, there's so much history for them to draw from there. So I think they could do something really cool with the story if they wanted to. I'm not expecting them to, because it is still a kid's game, and I think they'll keep it pretty simple. But just like seeing the kind of palace or mansion or whatever in the trailer, and what looked like the Eiffel Tower, seems like it might have a pretty distinct and memorable setting, and I hope that will influence the story as well as the types of Pokemon we get. So I'm really hoping for a little bit more of historical references, maybe, as far as the story elements go. That would be neat.
I did think of one other thing I'd like to say on this.
Uh-huh.
I would like to see in somewhere in there, I don't care if it's entirely story related, maybe even just like a small Easter egg, but some sort of retaliation against PETA.
Yeah.
It's in there somewhere. It's like some sort of screw you to PETA.
A little in-joke somewhere that someone in in a house says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
I
awesome.
would love to see that just so much.
All right. Last question. You cannot say anything but the answer, one word. All right. No explanations. Just say it. All right.
No.
Choose your starter. Go.
Chespin.
Okay. Andy.
Oh, right. Chespin.
Okay. Fox.
Fennekin.
I'm going to take Fennekin too. All right. Well, that's going to do it. Thanks for joining me, guys. It was fun to talk about what we would like to see. Hopefully you guys enjoyed listening to it. Leave us comments. I'll leave links to YouTube channels in the description for you to check out. Leave us comments. Let us know what kind of stuff you want to see in the games, and hopefully we'll get some more information here before too long. So thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
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 Bye.